going to jump right in so we can get started. Just because I know the time is short, so I want to be able to maximize our time. And basically how we're going to spend our evening tonight is I'm going to lead you in a guided meditation for about 10 minutes or so. Then we're going to have 10-15 minutes to explore art materials. So hopefully you all brought something that you could draw with, paint with. It doesn't have to be anything basic. Even if you forgot art supplies, if you have something to write with, then you can doodle with. After we do our guided meditation, I think it will be helpful. I think it will help everyone get a little bit more out of it today. So if you need those things, go grab them right now. Hopefully you're prepared just from knowing that this is the art therapy session. Okay, great. So okay, go ahead and close your eyes or find a place in the room to focus your attention for the next 10 minutes or so. And I'm going to walk you through a guided meditation. You can feel free to keep your eyes open if that helps you feel more comfortable, or you could also feel free to shut off your camera if that feels more comfortable as well. So go ahead and take a deep breath here. Just kind of see what you're coming into our group with tonight. If there's anything still lingering from the day that's on your mind. And recognize that often we can carry a bit of nervousness with us or discomfort as we enter a new experience, and know that this is a safe place for you. Again, continuing the breath. This place is free of judgment and criticism, and it's completely okay if you do not identify with being an artist. This is more about becoming in touch with our imagination, making space for our creativity. It's not about being perfect. It's a time to practice letting go. And as you get acclimated to our time together, let's see if we can all set an intention for ourselves to explore and be free, and know that there's no right or wrong way to make art. There's no expectations here. This is protected time for you to be present with yourself. And there's nowhere else that you need to be. Continuing to notice your breathing, if it's fast or slow. Just taking inventory of where you're at. Now, in mindfulness, we often look inward to observe our experiences. And tonight we're going to take time to reflect and get a bit of a weather report of our internal world. So weather will be our theme for the evening. And almost just like how you would check the weather as you're getting ready for the day, it's also important to check in with ourselves periodically and develop that awareness of our internal state. And so first, we're going to start by really focusing on the body. So again, you've been noticing your breathing, noticing the natural rhythm and cadence of your breath. Maybe your breathing has slowed down a bit as you started. You can notice your body and any areas of tension or stress. Maybe pain, or maybe there's areas of relaxation in your body as well. How are your neck and shoulders doing? How is your head? Moving down through your spine and your back. Just pay attention to what you notice in these places and send breath into these places. How is your belly? Your legs, your knees, your feet. Just take inventory without judgment. Notice what you can. Cultivating more awareness of your body. And now I'd like you to turn towards your mind. Notice your mind. Is it active? Is it busy? Maybe you're a bit distracted or preoccupied. Or maybe you feel steady and focused and quiet. Notice the things that are taking your attention without going into them too much, just noticing what is taking your time and your energy, maybe over the past day or weeks. Is there something that's really been taking a lot of your mental bandwidth lately? And now I'd like you to turn to your emotions, your emotional self. What emotions are present in your body? Are you feeling open, accepting, excited, or is there frustration or fear, fatigue maybe, any anger or resentment? Maybe there's an absence of emotion. Maybe you feel a bit blank or numb. If you are feeling an emotion, notice where in your body do you feel those emotions bubbling up from, and any physical sensations that may come along with that. Are there any things that are dominating your life that are causing strong emotions for you as you reflect on this? Maybe pleasant or unpleasant. And just take a moment to sit with these emotions and honor them for yourself. And give yourself a bit of gratitude for allowing yourself to sit with your body, your mind, and your emotions, for making that space for yourself. Now, just like the weather, our thoughts and our experiences and emotions are changing all the time. And now what I'd like you to do is take a moment to imagine and visualize what the weather would be like for you right now. What would the weather of your mind be like? Your mind, your body, and spirit. Are you noticing a storm brewing on the horizon, or is it a sunny, windy day? Is there any rain or fog, clouds? Whatever comes up for you spontaneously, just notice this and see if you can really visualize and create an image of yourself for yourself in this space, an image of your internal weather system right now. Notice the sights and the sounds. Notice the feeling of the air on your body. Go ahead and take a breath in and smell the air. Really notice how that feels to breathe in the air in this space. Take a few more breaths here. And as you breathe out, just breathe out any tension or judgment that you feel in this space. And let go of whatever it is you feel that you are holding on to today. Just embrace this experience for a few more moments. Sitting with yourself. And when you feel ready, when you feel like you really capture that image for yourself, you can open your eyes or come back to our space together. And if you have your art materials with you, you can notice the paper in front of you. You can notice what materials are in your space that you're drawn to, maybe pencils, markers, anything that you have, paints, whatever you came with. And we're going to take about the next 10 minutes or so to again continue to reflect on this idea of internal weather and see if you can create a visual representation of anything, any piece of what you imagined tonight as we went into our meditation. Or maybe there's something else that's coming up for you that you would like to express visually, or even just exploring or experimenting with the materials, and knowing that whatever you create, there's no judgment here, and there's no right or wrong. It's okay to create whatever it is that's calling for you. And so we'll work in silence for the next 10 minutes or so, and then we'll check in together. Feel free if you want to put on music for yourself as you create, or anything that you feel like would help you through this process. As you continue to create and you're noticing maybe there's some internal criticisms that are coming up for you about if your artwork is good or bad, just try to breathe into them and let them go. Again, in mindfulness, we're practicing non-judgmental awareness of our thoughts. And so try to see if you can challenge any of those thoughts that are coming up for you if they are. Got about another 2-3 minutes or so to keep working. I know it goes really quick, but keep working. See if you can find a stopping space for the next few minutes. And this is always something that you can come back to if you're finding enjoyment in this process. Okay, so take a few more moments. Okay, see if you can find a bit of a stopping point. I'm so glad you all got to experience this. We all got to experience this together. I know I feel a lot better just by taking that moment to kind of slow down. If you'd like to share at all about what you created or what this experience was like for you, I always like to leave a few minutes at the end, just and know that this is a safe space to share, and no one will judge what you created or any offerings that you have for the group. And something I like to share as well is that I think it's brave to show up into a creative space, especially if you're not used to making art work or you're not used to using your imagination in that way. A lot of times as adults we develop shame around our creativity and we don't give ourselves that opportunity. But there's so much research coming out about how creativity can positively impact our health and our well-being, and even physical pain. It can help reduce physical pain, such as with migraine. So I'm curious to see if anyone wants to share anything. I'll open it up for a few moments. No obligation to share if you're not feeling up to it as well.
I'd like to share because I just got off the support right before this with Apple support with the same old stuff, and I've been through with this particular computer that cost over 8,350 hours of troubleshooting and hundreds of hours, and I finally had to figure it out for myself and the adversity caused by this, and this made me feel better.
Wow. Oh, that's so interesting.
I'm a
What
lousy
can you?
artist, but that expresses my feelings and it helped me feel better.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to say a little bit about your image, Jim?
Yeah, it's basically tossing Apple into a lake and its reflection on their moral compass.
Yes. Wow. Oh, that looks cathartic. Just that idea of tossing it into the lake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Thank you.
came up with, and I am a terrible artist.
That's okay. I love when people say that they're terrible artists, because I think that oftentimes that's how we can connect in a more raw way, because
As
we don't
opposed
think of
to my
ourselves as being an
mother,
artist.
who did stuff like this.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
But I
And
didn't inherit any of her capabilities.
yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, it's okay. No one has to be a trained artist here. It's totally fine. It's not about being a good artist. It's about, seeing if you can access a little bit of the healing quality of art
Yeah,
making,
because I can't express it to them because they won't let me escalate it to a management level.
Mm.
They put up a block, and at least this allowed me today to express how I was feeling after my current experience, which helped relieve my migraine as well.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that, Jim. I appreciate that. Is
My
there anyone else that wants to share a little bit about their experience?
Everybody's quiet tonight.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I can go.
Okay, Tom.
The other men here, okay, we never seem to get enough men in these things, right? This is welcome spring 2021 because it was 85 degrees in my neighborhood and we actually turned the air conditioning on. So I got out my acrylic painters that I got from Retreat Migraine, which are really cool, and
Wow.
had some construction paper that they made us make things with in a Christmas project for Retreat Migraine. I was the only man. So it's welcome spring and it's going to be hanging up here in my workspace because I work from home down here in the basement for my job. So it's going to be in with my other stuff. And I thought that this was a very nice exercise, which I had a chemical infusion yesterday. So my brain is really scrambled. I was in the hospital for the afternoon getting a needle and my brain is a little scrambled. I've got a headache, but I thought this kind of got my mind off of having a foggy brain today. And I appreciate what you did for us today, Jen. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tom, for sharing that. You know,
Appreciate all of you.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, I really appreciate this group as well and just the openness, and I hope you're starting to feel a little better. And I appreciated your springtime image. It had some optimism there. It seemed like it's like the upswing is coming.
But I appreciate you commenting that there should be no judgment. Because people say art therapy and it's like the hands go up like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that, and the guided imagery was wonderful.
Oh, I'm really glad, Kelly, that you got something out of it. Yeah, I always like to try and create as safe of an atmosphere as possible, judgment-free. You know, again, I think we all have a lot of shame coming in, like, oh, she's asking me to do art. Oh no, you know. So it's okay, and it's, again, it's a healthy thing for us to get in touch with our creativity. And visual art might not be your thing, but maybe you love to garden, or maybe, you know, you like to scrapbook or cook. And there's so many other ways to express our creativity. I think that the goal is just to have things like that you enjoy, that you can use as creative outlets, because that can be really helpful in regulating our emotions and managing stress and our health. So art is just one modality.
One thing I like to share that I've learned about, for those people that are uncomfortable during drawing, there is another form of artwork that can be very beneficial, that accomplishes a lot of the same thing in a different way, and that's writing. Basically, keeping a journal, writing a letter when something to yourself about what you've experienced, when something adversity happens, all those kinds of things. It's just it's actually another form of art in many respects.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just totally have a block against drawing something, that can be an alternate method that I found that has proven to be successful from the research that I've read.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I mean, writing is so helpful. And oftentimes I will ask people after an art exercise to, you know, see if you can do some, you know, writing, just some free writing about what you experienced or what you created, just to deepen the process, or even, you know, for instance, giving a title to your image, or responding maybe, like, you know, with a few words just that you feel describe it. So there's a lot of things we can do. Maybe next time we'll do a little more of like an expressive writing exercise after our art making, if we have time. So, yeah, very cool. And I love reading the chat. Thank you all very much. I'm glad that you got something out of it, and it seemed like it overall was really positive for people. Anything else that anyone wants to share? I know we're just about at our time. Okay. Well, thank you all, and thank you, Kelly, for hosting and facilitating, and to Miles for Migraine.
Oh, thank you, and thank you everybody for attending.
Thank you all.
Okay, have a great night, everybody.
Have a nice night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.